looking at the concept of the soul of Australia. What is the soul of a nation? I think we've discussed this earlier, but to repeat, a soul of a nation is a combination of brilliant humans within a nation whose inner radiance takes part in making up the petals of a soul of a nation. So the Lotus concept again, this whole idea that revelation comes through group activity, through working as teams of souls, really. And so the idea is that each nation is really helped a tremendous amount by the quality and the note and the colour and the vibration and the activity and service and so on of brilliant, wonderful people. They can be any age, and they actually, by their very being, without even realising it, are like radiant lights with other radiant lights that make up like a petal within a giant lotus. And that's what we're referring to here in terms of Australia. So we're looking to see what are the major qualities for this nation. And we're looking at leadership, of course, and all the other departments of governance, but we need to look at the really spiritually alive or creatively alive, intelligently alive members of that team. So here we have an image which is obviously a symbol, and the symbol represents really a process that the nation might be going through in this particular case. And here we see a fiery lotus. So when we think of Australia, we think of all the fires that the nation has or the country has. We think of a transformational process in activity, and yes, Australia has that. And if you were to look at its astrology heavens, then you would see that transiting Pluto or Shiva or death or transformation is going through its identity. And this is extremely appropriate for this nation in this case. So it's in flux, it's in activity, it's actually a bridge between the East and West. We're considered Australasia, aren't we? And this nation is so multicultural in its beauty and so on. So here we have a symbol for this represented in this sacred Thangka. Here we also have other symbols of course, the lotus and the fire, and many philosophers speak of fire as a god being a consuming fire. Interesting. Here we also have a rod of some description, and the rod reaches upward, and it has a globe at the top of it. It's like a great lightning rod, and it has a spinning wheel or spinning globe of fiery white light. A flag of fire also in this image, and on that flag are written something, I imagine in Sanskrit or something like that. So, amazingly interesting country to be watching, and if this indication here has anything to do with it, we're going to see some major transformation and awakening of a nation. This is at least the hope here represented. Now we see all this light in the center of this fire, and we obviously see that there is a buddhic type figure here. We don't really know who it is by this image, but we can see that there is something happening there. There seems to be this rod going right through the center here, and through the crown of this being, so it's a very advanced being of some description. And we also have a buddhic kind of feel to it. We also have a globe here being held, and we see this globe represented in other images within the Thangka. And so we need to be watching that and see what that's all about as this Thangka develops. A very, very interesting progressive nation with an awakening soul, so let's keep an eye on that.